Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome back to EPGL Season 2. Hi, everyone in the chat. Hi, Palko.
Hey,
We're back together for some interesting review today. How are you feeling?
well, I expect to see some good games. I think we are gonna see some blood today.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah.
It hasn't even been one move.
Yeah. But I have the feeling that it might come up.
Yeah.
Also,
So
it is.
the game's gonna get started now. Hi to everyone saying hello in the chat. And yeah, we have Ryan back. Let's talk predictions. He already impressed, I think, in the first two matches he played. He beat you, he beat Artem. Is it safe to say he's a favorite today?
Well, I think he is the favorite. But on the other hand, I think Andrii has nice style against him. So I mean, good style against him. So I think it's definitely not gonna be like against Artem, where Artem got totally crushed, I think. So I think Ryan is going to win, but I think not in a very, dominant way.
Yeah, the match was with Artem was surprising how it was sort of one-sided.
Yeah, it was like super dominant.
I think Artem was just having an off day because I mean he won the first season. We know. I'm sure he can beat Ryan if he got a better game going that day, but wasn't meant to be. And what do you think Andrii's strategy should be today?
Well, Ryan is really good at the later stage of the game, so I think he has to gain some advantage and then just try to play calmly and finish off the game.
Okay, I was thinking actually more relevant to Andrii's style. I feel like Andrii is the kind of player who goes all in relatively easily. Like it's if he sees a chance to go all in, even if it's early in the game, he always takes it. And I'm wondering if we can see a more peaceful style from him today. Maybe wait a bit longer and then wait for a chance to pounce before going all in.
Yes, I think he shouldn't take the first chance to go all in. We saw how it ended up against Artem in the first game with Ryan. So I think he should learn from that and try to play more safe.
Oh, someone in the chat is saying every day is an off day versus Ryan. And we're starting to get a bit nervous, no? I mean, if he beats us all, there is some honor on the line.
Yeah.
I was talking with Andrii last week. I mean, when we were commenting, I think it was. Well, we were commenting something. I don't remember whose game, but we were saying. He was saying that he's looking forward to playing Ryan and he really wants to beat him. So yeah, I hope we see a good match out of him today. And he's thinking a lot now. They were playing the Fuseki pretty fast up to here, but now he's taking his time.
Yeah, they played super fast. So let's look how they played.
Will you take your advices for the match you will play against Ryan? I'm assuming that's for me because Pavel already played him. Well, in tournament games, I'm actually 1-0 against Ryan. So that's 100% win rate. However, we played on KGS last week. I think we played like 5 Blitz games and I only won 1. So we'll see, I guess. We'll see. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Like I think he's the opponent I'm looking to play against the most. Okay, Palko, what do we got in the game?
Yes, so we got an early Sansan, which is quite common. And usually white blocks on this side, but this time white decided to block on this side, which is of course no mistake, but it's not so popular. And yeah, this move is answered by Kosumi even if white answers on the other side, so I think this should make not really big difference. And white decides to make this. So usually white would answer here to finish off the Joseki.
Yeah, I've also never seen a C14 before. I saw this two-space extension that you mentioned. I saw invade R17, and
Yes.
I saw approach at R14. Those are
Yes.
the usual moves, I think. And actually, I think it was in the last year, Transatlantic, Ryan was knocked out by Ilya, who he also still has to play in our league. And that game, Ryan was black, and they had this opening. And Ilya went for R17, I think.
Yes. I remember that game as well. Yeah, although I think it was, if I remember correctly, there was a shape like this in this
Alright.
corner.
Yeah. It was a bit different. You're right.
Yeah, it was quite similar. But anyway, it's probably not a big mistake. I mean, it's probably not even a mistake to play here, just unusual. And black decides to take the big point immediately. So now I wonder which one is better, either to play somewhere here or to approach this corner, which white did in the game.
Somewhere where? In the bottom right?
Either bottom left, I would be thinking, or top right, like white played, because if black plays here and top right, this looks quite nice for him. But also if he plays the Kosumi here, I think the combination of these two Kosumis is quite good for black.
Yeah, but standard opening theory says you should prioritize the widest side. So the top makes sense since it's still the widest and also big for both.
Yes, and also assuming black answers, white would have a choice to Tenuki and take this side. So what I think white should do is to punish black, or to maybe not punish, but to play on the top right side now. Maybe this double approach or go directly into the corner. This would be my ideas here.
Okay. Oh, but Andrii answers with the attachment.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that this is not the bot move, at least. I'm not gonna say it's not a good move because I have no idea if it's good or not, but I think the bots usually don't attach here before they get pincered, right? The first let black get on their side and then they attach, right?
Yes, I think so. I also think that normally white sometimes even plays this move himself, like not getting black to play there, rather than attaching here. But mainly what I think is going to be the problem, like a slight problem for white, is that black is going to end up in center, and he will be able to come back on the top right corner.
Yeah, and we can see on the small board that's what happened in the game. But Andrii seems quite fond of this attachment. I remember he played it against Artem as well. I don't think he played Artem yet this season, so it must have been last season. But yeah, he likes to attach kind of early.
Well, it's not so bad. I mean, it makes black strong, but black is strong anyway. So locally it's not that bad. But I think in this particular situation it is important to keep center. And maybe Andrii thought that this is going to be center for him. because usually black would come back and capture this one stone.
Yeah.
But
So there is a kind of ladder now. I mean, it's not obvious that black can tenuki here.
yes, there is a ladder, but right now it doesn't work for white.
Yeah, and the peep at p15 is not directly helping for the ladder.
Yes. So white's option could be, for example, to attach here. And this might be interesting.
Oh,
But the
this is
question,
a Palco move. I like it.
thanks. But I think Andrii would also suggest this move if he would be doing the review. So
Well, he went for the other attach. I mean, he had the same idea. He was just like, you know, doing A, B, this attach, that attach, and he chose the other one.
yes, but the problem with this attach is that it doesn't. I mean, if black just answer normally, anywhere, it doesn't break the ladder, right? Because the ladder goes somewhere in this area.
Yeah.
So,
But, I mean, the fight might spill over there. This attachment is actually something we reviewed. Was played in Ilya against Tanguy last week. And Andrii mentioned that he reviewed this move specifically quite a lot with AI. So he said he knows some tricky sequences here.
so he prepared it all before the game.
Yeah. He said last week that the obvious answer is for black to extend down to R7, and that's actually not so good. Because white attaches on top with P5, and then somehow it's bad for black.
It's bad for black because white can cut, right?
Yeah.
And if black protects, then white gets a nice shape. Yeah, and if for example this happened, then I think the ladder would already be good for white. Or maybe one more push. But anyway, white would be able to do that.
Someone's asking if we have played against Blackie before. Well, I studied under Blackie in Korea for 6 months. I've definitely played him a few times, a couple even games, but I was still amateur at that time, so I don't think I ever beat him in an even game. What about you? Did you play him?
I played him once where we had this match, a few pros against Blackie on Taijam.
Oh yeah, I played that. Okay, so I played him one more time there as well.
Yeah, and I think in that match, 3 of us lost, but Ilya and Mateusz beat him that time, which was quite surprising to me at least.
And it was even games, right?
I think it was no komi.
No
something
komi.
like that.
Yeah. That was already a couple years ago. But yeah, we've all played him. Okay, so back to the game. Ryan didn't fall for the so-called trick.
Yes. So what are the white options here?
I mean, the crazy option is to cut.
The crazy option is to cut, but the problem is what to do next. Right?
I mean, you have some ladders here. Maybe you can... But yeah, it doesn't look very promising. Like,
because
even if you get the ladder.
Yeah, if you get the ladder now, maybe it's not even worth. So
crosscut definitely doesn't follow the idea we mentioned of not going all in immediately.
Yeah, this looks pretty bad for white, but this one, I don't know. I don't feel so good as white somehow.
Because it feels like now you might lose center here again, and you didn't necessarily want to create a group there right now.
Yeah, and it's a group which doesn't have many points, but especially it doesn't have many eyes. yet.
Yeah, and I definitely think Sente is super important here because the white Moyo on the left and the top um, is very wide, so it feels quite urgent to get to play there first.
Yes, some move around here. Or
Yeah.
as Ryan did in the game. This is also quite good.
So, do you think it's correct to Tenuki here immediately, or maybe Ryan just wasn't sure where exactly to play, so he's like, okay, figure it out later.
Well, my first idea would be to continue, but yeah, on second thought, like what would be the continuation? So maybe this would be the first feeling to press white, but I don't know. I think the question is if white can Tenuki.
Yeah, it's very unclear whether black can end up in Sente here.
Because if, for example, white is going to play some move like this, then I think that's good exchanges for black. But if white can, for example, play here, then all these exchanges are maybe not so useful for black. So I guess that's why Ryan decided to play here, which I like. Because if white plays the counter, well, actually, it doesn't look so bad for white now to have such shape.
Yeah, that's a really nice shape. Maybe Gote again though, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think black would now maybe take this stone. But either way, white didn't decide to do that, but instead he decided to make this exchange.
That's an aggressive move.
Which, I don't know.
Yeah, that shape looks kind of loose, right? Like it's not clearly connected, it's not clearly making points. So
Yeah. Like nothing is connected, and the biggest problem is that with black playing at r4, now he's completely alive in the corner. There's no way for white to kill or to have any agi there. And also black makes a lot of points, plus white loses a base for a bit his group. I mean, black can play A later or maybe Hane, and white's eyes are going to get destroyed, so I don't really like this exchange.
and the Keima was big, like going into the corner was big for white as well.
Yeah. Like I would prefer more to have this exchange than the other one.
Yeah, somehow though the shape still feels kind of like with that peep there at Q6 looks sort of annoying.
Yeah.
Anyway, the game is still definitely fine for white. Okay, I think this is a good time to start our poll while the game is still even, so that there are no scores. Yeah, we're gonna get to see how many AGA traitors we have in the chat.
Okay. So who are you cheering for, Andrii or Ryan?
Wait, what
Wow.
happened?
Ryan winning big so far in the poll.
Yeah, and lots of people are voting. Usually, these polls only get like 20 responses total, and now it's already 23 just for Ryan.
Yeah. Looks like many people are cheering for Ryan.
Okay, let's see, but there was some interesting corner invasion in the game. Sequence which we haven't seen in a super long time, right?
Yes, and this used to be like super common a few years ago. And I also like the idea of white going into the corner, since black already has two corners, so it's good for him to secure some clean points. But it looks like white didn't go for the clean points that much. He kind of went all in here, it seems.
Uh-huh.
So the situation is now that white is locally dead with the group here. And if he wants to survive with this group, he either has to capture black's group number 1 or black's group number 2. But to capture group number 1 will be hard, because black can
At least he
simply...
waited 30 moves before going all in. Yeah, Andrew was already planning to do this in the bottom right, but probably he heard me. He's like, don't go all in immediately. So he chilled for one corner, but the second one was already too much. And going back a bit, what's the usual Joseki? What was the usual sequence? So yeah.
It usually would be to connect here.
Oh, okay. I've also seen push, cut, and after extension connect.
Yes, that is also possible. And then usually black takes this one stone in Geta.
Yeah, so this is usual. This way white would be alive in the corner, but in the game he tried to...
He tried to make one more exchange. He wants to exchange this and then come back. So this way he would get the advantage that black cannot capture that one stone of white, which I'm actually not even sure if it's good exchange for white.
Actually, I think the Joseki is like, if white directly connects, then there is no Geta, right?
I mean it's not entire Geta. I mean sometimes black chooses to sacrifice those 3 stones.
And the move I knew is playing 2 as a diagonal at N14.
Yes.
And then
actually this is also possible.
And then he could extend out just like he did in the game. So actually there was no rush to extend out, right?
Yeah, I think there wasn't. I think that was a mistake. But on the other hand, maybe it was also unnecessary complication for Ryan to go for this fight, because even if he answers, I think white has to come back. Or do you think white has other way to play here? I don't know, maybe sacrifice the corner and...
I don't think so. I mean, I'm okay with dying with this corner occasionally, but this doesn't seem that promising for white. Oh, we can even submit multiple answers with the channel points, so people are cheating on our poll. Andrew made a small comeback, he's at 35%. Not so bad.
That's decent. So here, yeah, so to catch group number 1 is pretty hard, and white's real chance is to catch group number 2, but that's also not so easy because of the crosscut, which actually happened in the game. So white would need, I think, one more move here.
And then?
And if black, for example, answered here, then I think this would work. for white.
It. What if
Well,
black connects at t14?
Then white has to play here. And actually white loses still, that's true. Okay, so that wouldn't work either. But if white pulls back here, then black can just connect. And white can Atari here. What would black do?
There. Go out.
Go out. So we go out and connect.
And
black cannot capture this locally because white can escape like this.
So maybe something like O12 and make him EI.
O12. Okay. Yeah, white has to answer somehow.
Oh, but now P12 works.
P12. Yes, it does. Maybe white can play this way. But anyway, white will have to sacrifice the corner.
Yeah, and it's okay to die with this corner. I think especially early when white can create the moyo everywhere.
Now he would have moyo like this.
Yeah, so it's about getting good shape from the sacrifice.
Yes. Yeah, but definitely white cannot capture black directly, and he either has to sacrifice the corner or play something crazy. I think what he did in the game. He throw in here.
Throw in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, at this point, I think he doesn't have many choices, right? I mean, maybe he could have played here first, and then throw in. But I think he has to throw in at this point.
What about O14 and extending out P11?
P11, yes, that's the variation which we already talked about, right?
Yeah, but then maybe with P9 Sente also, maybe it's gonna be fine.
Just sacrifice the corner again, and
but get like M14 first, and also
yes. Okay, so here I'm not sure. Maybe black just wants to connect, right? Or maybe black wants to play. I think.
Yeah, it's tough. It's really complicated.
It's tough because I mean black can also play like this, right? And then white cannot really play here, so.
But that throw-in, it's the kind of move which to me feels like it's for sure wrong. It's maybe hard to punish, and I'm not sure why it's wrong, but feels like it. Feels like white shouldn't be able to throw in like that, start a call so early in the game.
Yes, you're right. I think white needs to have at least one local call threat, and then there is a chance that it might be a good call for him. But yeah, it doesn't feel right. But what about playing here first and then throw in? Because the difference is that that black will have to take now, and white can connect immediately. So there is actually no call.
Oh, that looks pretty good.
And black also has pretty bad shape because it will end up like this, right? And he would have this dumpling, which is not alive yet. And white is already alive in the corner.
Oh, is
Black,
but there is still something annoying with S10, right? And when you
something.
descend, you cannot.
Yes, but this is all what black can do, not more. I mean, it's not even 16 is not even center, right? So it's not so annoying.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay.
So I think it was very important to play that exchange, because since black got to go out here, like even if white connects, then
It's already worse.
yeah, it's already worse because black has much better shape.
And he can give Atari still.
Yeah, he can give Atari. But what happened in the game? So white decides not to connect, which is
Wow.
which I don't understand.
The poll got 70 responses. I don't know how many people voted twice, but I think that's the first time the poll get that many responses. Anyway, in the end, it was 57 Ryan to 43 Andrii.
Quite close.
Okay, so what about the result in the end? White took the bottom left, but lost the core.
Okay. Wow.
What do you think? My first feeling is good for black, but I'm still mulling it over.
Yeah. Yes, my first feeling is also good for black, because I was looking at the shape here in the top right, and it's just like beton already for black.
Yeah, and all the white stones here are basically garbage. Like,
yes, this is all dead, 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 dead. Everything is dead, and it cannot revive.
yeah, but penetrating the bottom left is big too.
Yes, it is very big actually. When I keep looking at here, then already also these stones, they can live, but white got a lot of points also.
I think the problem is after black, for example, lives with K2, then
Yes.
D2 is still super annoying in the corner, right?
But is
not?
it? Because
No, it's
I mean,
not.
black has to live somehow like this, right?
Yeah.
Wait, is he even alive like this? He's not even alive like this. So he has to live something like this, and then I think E1 is going to be center.
Okay.
So I think that's not much of a problem. And good thing for white is that because before these three stones could have been attacked in some situations, but now white is also rock solid. So I think it's hard to judge the overall situation. So I would say it's like 50-50.
Okay. I'd say it's slightly better for black. Just because I have like 20 stones at white, which I'd rather not have. But I definitely agree the bottom left is big too.
Okay. So black decides to attack the group on the right side, which is understandable. And okay.
Yeah, should white have cut here?
Cut where?
I mean 05.
What would you do?
Just pull back maybe.
Then I guess black would have pulled back to right, and maybe white has to jump. It doesn't look bad for white.
Is this even big? Isn't something like D10 way bigger than playing here locally?
I think it is quite big.
I mean, yeah, it depends. If you just die clean with one move, then probably you gotta answer. But
Yeah, but
I
I think
mean,
you I
white
think you
white
die, maybe.
Q5 in center, right? So white can exchange Q5 first
Q5 for what?
before Tenuki.
It's Gotha, no?
It's Gote, but
Yes,
it's
and I
big.
think
You can play D2 or something, right?
well, but I think white. I mean, black is going to make white suffer first a bit. Like probably white can leave,
Well, white is alive with one move, so at least that.
but black will get here, so it's not really Santa, I think.
Hmm.
And I think that's what black was trying to avoid, to get closed with the cut. But I'm not sure if it works so well. Because yeah, I mean, like here, black obviously I think wants to play this move, and in the game white managed black. I mean, that black didn't play that move, but I'm not sure if it's a better shape. And here, understandably, well, my first feeling was just to play here, but obviously this would be too good for black. So this move is very understandable, and I think it is an okay sequence.
L5. I'd rather not play that because I'm looking at L4, right? Are you also
No,
feeling L4?
here?
Hmm.
Wow, this I didn't feel, but a nice idea.
I
I
have
was
an
more
oppressed feeling.
I was more looking at this like if you exchange this move is already dead because white can just play here. But if there is no exchange, then you can play here. But yeah, also this, like it's hard to answer. Maybe black can live like this with the group.
You can exchange N3 even and just connect up the whole side.
Ah, yeah, that would be great.
Would be pretty great.
Yeah, I don't agree with this move. I don't agree with this exchange. I don't like it. But black played it, and white has to run.
This.
Yeah, it's necessary.
So Andrii thinks he's ahead now, or he just felt like he has to play there?
I don't know. I mean, if I was white, then I would at least make this exchange first and then play here.
Yeah, at least.
At least. But maybe, I don't know.
I mean, unfortunately, it does look like you have to play. I mean, you have to answer there, otherwise.
You have to answer, but maybe you can answer this way. Or is that too risky? Maybe it's too risky.
Yeah, but then
Yeah.
I think something might have been wrong with one of White's like last two moves. If you have to answer there, you're just not happy because Black should already be dead now locally.
Yeah. So maybe white should go out then.
Go out.
Or is that too crazy?
Solid crazy.
Maybe it's too crazy. Okay. But yeah, I think at least white should make this Atari first and then play here. But anyway, white didn't do it, and
Okay, and now White is captured on the right side too.
yes, he is captured, and there's probably no way he can live. I mean, maybe there is something like this later he can try.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure
this
if it
is
works.
the kind of, I mean, this kind of life is so bad. It might qualify as endgame, but not more than that, right?
Yes. Yeah, so we can consider that group dead on the right side.
And there's still a problem in the center at J7.
Yeah. I think,
So
yeah.
success for white here, right? For black, sorry.
For black, I think so. Well, it would be nice if white could play something here on the left side, which actually white did. And then if he could cut here, which is actually the game.
This is the game?
Yeah. But I don't know, it feels risky
For both, though.
for both.
I guess I wouldn't cut as white. Not
But
immediately at least.
imagine you had this exchange made, and then if you cut, 1 liberty difference for these two stones, I think that's big.
Okay.
But now there is no liberty, so I think that's a big difference.
Yeah.
But we are quite behind on the game.
Yeah. Overall, what's this black right side like?
What? Why would you play K5?
Why would you play A5? Oh,
I
it's
know why he plays
because he wants to connect at 07.
Because he wants, yes, because he wants to do this, right? He wants to make this exchange, and then he wants to play here. And then he wants to play a call for connecting the half of the eye.
Yeah, it seems that it was optimistic to think that Ryan's gonna follow like his plan here.
Yes.
And I'm afraid I made a count. I don't know, I counted quick, so I don't know if I made a mistake somewhere or if black's right side is really 90 points. Because that's what I counted, like 80.
I think that's believable.
I mean, I counted white as dead on the bottom right, which he probably is, but not 100%. But anyway, 80 points already.
I think it might be even more actually, because if you look at it, like black has the territory on the 4th line and even above, like somewhere on the 5th line, like here, right? And here. So yeah, and that's 4 times 20, so that's believable.
High level counting.
So yeah, it will be hard for white to get that many points.
All right, let's try and catch up a bit.
Yes. Okay. Why are they not playing here? Here. At any point. It looks so big.
I think white doesn't feel like that's enough. Like I think he's kind of committed in his head to keeping all of the left side. No, at least the left side. That seems to be his focus.
Yeah. Well, I agree that it's big. But on the other hand, if black connects these 3 stones, that's quite big. Not only points, but especially white's group will be cut off. And how many points is that worth?
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
And there is still this M5 problem, which is not settled. Thinking back a bit, it was definitely K5 looks like a very suspicious move.
Yeah, K5 I think is gonna be a mistake.
And at least you should have pushed at M5 first, maybe, or something.
Yeah.
To make it connect at N7 first. If you just play there, of course white is going to, yeah, maybe connect 07 first.
07 first. And exchange and maybe even play this Atari, no? I mean...
Yeah, play the Atari. This is the way to get k5.
Yeah,
That's the plan.
this is better than playing at k5. Because I know this is also gote, but actually there's already, you can start the ko if you want, but in the game you cannot. So yeah. So that was surely a mistake, and black decided to, black managed to connect those 3 stones, and I think that's just too big. I think the game will be too hard for white now.
Listen, the whole group is still not alive, right? You can cut it J11, maybe? That too much?
J11. Well, I think it's too much because the group, the black group has a lot of liberties, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I think he will win the capturing race.
Yeah, white's also dead. Well, I was thinking if white is ever gonna get m5, but I cheated a bit and looked at the game. It seems like he never got it in the end.
But again, I think he shouldn't play m5. He should play here first.
Maybe also instead of L11, he should cut 3 stones, like you said.
I think it's too big.
Yeah, that's solid big. I agree.
This is big too, but I don't know.
Those stones, they're garbage, but they're not dead yet, so you never know.
Yeah, these stones, right? Alright, we have a lot to catch up. So black made a nice shape. White lived.
Okay.
Wait. Is there something now?
On Q7, feels like, yeah.
Yes, I was thinking something like this, but black can just block here.
But at least you should get S6. Still not sent.
And then what? Then black can play here.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work because playing this Atari would be a mistake, but because now white could play here. But if he doesn't play the Atari, then I think white is dead. Okay, so there is nothing, and so that's why white decides to go just for endgame. And attack the center group. Do you think there is any chance this group will die?
You never know, but I think if white counted, he should. If black counted, he should know that playing safe here should be enough for him, right?
Yeah. I didn't count, but I think it's obvious.
Yeah, we counted the 80, which we counted is still pretty much there, and then you add something for the top left, and I just don't see any 80 for white here.
Yeah, so white kind of needs to kill, or to get everything in endgame. And the game is at this stage.
Oh. Well, that just looks...
What about, I was just about to say, what about extending? Because if black cuts, white can play here. And this might be a problem for black.
Okay, so he can live. He can probably live on the left, right?
He can live on the left, but can he live now in the center? If where white needs to connect, and I think something will die. I mean, at least I think at least like the center will die.
Oh. Would it? Are you confident to kill this with
I'm not confident, but
F12 or?
like 2 moves ago, I felt like I have maybe 1% to win as white, but now I have the feeling that it's already like 50-50. So I think that's a huge like gain for white. And black even decides to play this move. I think. Wait, did black just die on the left even? No, can't be, right?
Well, it's definitely starting to look more hopeful for white. I agree. And now, are you looking at b6 or b10?
Yeah, I'm looking at both moves actually, but I think, well, eventually we'll have to play both, right? Because this one is center for black, and white has to answer it. So if you want to kill, you have to play both. But yeah, you can't kill because black will live. But maybe if white gets strong here, like this, maybe he can kill the group in the center.
Yeah.
Alright, so in the game, white decided to connect this way.
So he's going after the center first. Settle that question and then move to the left side.
Yes. But I think it might have been important to make this exchange, because it might be too late to do it later, maybe.
But is that center? Wouldn't black just play b6 himself now?
b6, okay, but then it's center, right? I mean,
Yeah, but
we
black
got
can
beaten.
revive the corner. I'm not even sure killing the center is enough anymore.
No, for sure killing the center is enough.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
But here I think it was better to connect with this move, since this one doesn't really give that much advantage, maybe more disadvantage.
Yeah, somehow might lose liberty here for... Yeah, like now L14 would be center.
Yes, and it can be crucial. So but we have this situation, and white decides to play here, and I think black lived everywhere in the game.
Oh, just like that.
Yeah, black lived on the left side and black lived in the center.
Oh, and actually the problem was, like you said, that white didn't exchange b10, and that's why d12 was working.
Yes, so imagine white exchanged this for this, and black would have played the same, and but he still cannot kill. White would still not be able to kill the group.
Yeah, it feels like the chances of killing were not so high.
Yeah. But how about, so we exchange this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so but we play here. Black plays the same. And then maybe we play this one.
Oh, no exchange?
Maybe exchange. exchange and play here.
Okay, so K14, I guess, or wait, was L14 working?
L14.
L15, sorry.
Ah, L15 is working. So that's why he played M12.
Yeah.
So he's a genius, actually.
Yeah, we were. But then anyway, it looks like it's not possible to kill.
Well, he has to play this one, and then I guess black will play this one.
Five.
Yeah, looks alive. But looked hopeful.
I still feel like black took a bit of an unnecessary risk here, but paid off.
Indeed.
And now the game is not really countable anymore, right? It's just over.
Yeah. I mean, white is trying our sequence, but that doesn't work.
Yeah. I wonder how confident Ryan was playing out this fight in the middle, because yeah, in 30 seconds, Bioyomi is so easy to die with something there. But he lived pretty well. The Tsuji at D12 was really nice. It basically forced
Yes.
a one-way street variation where black is alive with both groups immediately. So all the hope was gone there.
Yes. But I think at this point, I think that he didn't see that white can extend. Because, I mean, this would be the first variation to read, right? Which doesn't work.
Yeah, he probably missed the extension, right?
Yes, I think so. And if I was black, I would get really scared at this point. Because I think he was winning too much, and like maybe it was unnecessary to play this Hane.
Just jump.
Yes, just jump. And he should have a safe victory.
Really, even B4, like something like C6 and then B4 is annoying. Probably start with B4.
Yeah, it's possible.
Now you can,
Hane.
yeah, Hane. Yeah. White had a lot of moyo, so it still felt like there was, like it was still anyone's game after that first fight. But I do think that the result there favored black after the top right, but it was the center where, as you mentioned, when white didn't cut 3 stones, the game was too hard.
At this point. Yeah, and white made a lot of mistakes around here, like not playing this Atari, or maybe he could even play it here instead.
Black, not so easy for black to bamboo, right? Because then he loses 08.
08. Yes, also, but also like black loses the chance to play the Hana as he did in the game, right? I mean, he wouldn't wanna make this exchange. This looked like a very very bad exchange. So if white made that exchange, he could have had a better situation, and maybe black would have to answer this way. But then again, white can play here, and I think this would be a much better fight for white. like compared to the game. There is almost no weakness for white. So that was the first mistake, I think, and the second mistake was when white played k5, thinking that it's going to be center, but or maybe he didn't think it's center, but if it's gote, then it's not good, not a good move. But surely at this point, it seemed like white still has a chance. But after this, yeah, I think it was too good for black.
Some people in the chat are saying it's black plus 40 now.
Wow. That's a lot of points. But actually, I mean, it sounds about right. Well, 40 points. But yeah, the right side is big and white only got to keep the bottom.
White lost the top left, and then the side which he was super focused on, the left, black lived there with 10 points. So
yeah, and white made 10 points.
Yeah, it's not like white got real compensation in the center or anything. So plus 40 sounds about right, but actually the margin in this kind of game can be misleading. It's just you lost the fight. If he'd have won the fight, he would be ahead, and if he lost, he's behind by 40. But at that point, it doesn't matter if you're behind by 40 or by 15 or by 10.
Yes. So I already see that Andrii resigned the game. He probably can't and realize it's too big difference.
Wow. So what? Who's gonna stop Ryan? Andrii still has one more chance. We're gonna be back for game 2 in a bit and see if Ryan's winning streak can end. Actually, you're the only one who took a game off him so far. He's 5-1 now.
Yes, he beat me 2-1, beat Artem 2-0, and 1-0 now against Andrii.
Yeah, okay, and today... Yeah, so right now, before we go on the break, we're gonna be trying something new. You guys might have noticed the AI Sensei logo we added. We are trialing a sponsorship with them for the next few streams. So we're gonna have a post-game review using the tool. I'm setting it up right now. For those of you who don't know, AI Sensei is a great tool to review your games with the computer overlords. And it's very easy to use, and you can use it without installing stuff and on mobile and everything. So me and Palko are going to go over using that now. Boom, magic. So as you can see, here's the website, AI Sensei. We go here to upload an SGF. It's also free to use. You can pay to have more computing power for better reviews, but it's not mandatory. And this is an SGF of the game. So Crazy Wind was Ryan, and this was Andrii. And oh, actually, Andrii timed out in the end, but I guess it was kind of a resign by time.
Probably.
Then we upload that. And yeah, while it's analyzing, let's try and guess what the AI is gonna say about this game. So we already talked about what we thought were the biggest mistakes. Do you think the AI is gonna agree with us?
I think she is gonna agree with us, or he, I don't know.
I think it's
But
she or it. It's definitely not the he.
okay. So, but I really wonder about one thing, and that is that in the end, white cut black two groups, and I really wonder if black had a chance there to kill the group. This is something what I wonder. And the second thing which I wonder, and I'm not sure, is on the top right side, who was better at that point?
On the top right, you think after the call maybe?
Yeah, like after the call, yes.
That's interesting. Well, I feel like after the call it was slightly. So I think here the throw-in was probably one of the mistakes we're gonna see earlier in the game, where black starts opening up a lead. And after this fight, I expect black to be ahead. And then, yeah, like you mentioned here there were a few mistakes. First, just jumping down directly, and second, this M5, which was Gote. And maybe the last two are, like you mentioned, not cutting black off 3 stones in the center. And finally, whether white had anything in this fight, any chance to kill one of the black groups. So it's finished analyzing, and we can take a look. I usually set the tool. You can set it by percentages or by points to show like mistakes over a certain threshold. And if we set it to like 6 points in this game, then it doesn't seem to think there were that many mistakes over 6 points. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, that's pretty. It means that the game was on a really high level.
Well, we're finding some more now. Yeah, and there were not all white mistakes. There is some black mistakes here too. Then we can go through and see. So over here we can see like what the AI thinks. This was the AI move, and this move. When it says loses half a point, that's basically an optimal move. Doesn't really mean anything when you lose 1 or 2 points for a move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still analyzing, but I think it's finished now. It has the whole win rate graph as well. Yeah, and so far still totally even game. We were saying here we thought black was maybe a bit better. It doesn't seem to agree. It thinks it's totally even. Yeah, still completely even up to here. Yeah, even now. So it doesn't seem to think that this extension was a mistake.
Okay.
Take was a mistake?
What? Create some code thread first.
Just a moment, I'll be right back.
Okay. But this sequence actually makes sense. I have to move to the left. Center black. Black was dead at the end. I'm looking forward to make.
Hey, sorry
Hey.
about that. Had to run to the bathroom for a second. Yeah, it was showing us some crazy sequence here,
Yeah.
which I guess the point is that this way White has more core threats. He's dead with the 4 stones, but he would have more core threats like this, and that might mean that T14 is more threatening this way.
Yes, it makes sense actually.
Yeah, so up until here the fight is still unsettled, and it thinks the game is still quite even. Oh, this throw-in was not so bad, right? Minus 3 points. I expected that to be a bigger drop. Oh, and this connect was not good. Yeah, now we can see a lead open up here. Black 10 points ahead. And
so Black is
it doesn't seem to think that White core threat was bad. That was probably the best core threat White could get.
Minus 0.2 points.
Yeah, that basically means that's what it would have played as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and it thinks Black is only 7 points ahead, so still relatively even. Oh, go out now. Well, this is a much more complicated fight.
It's very complicated.
Humans, it's so hard for humans to play like this.
Yeah, like why is 5, 6, 7? Why is it like 5, 6, 7? Why?
I mean, I guess 5 is just big.
Yeah, but it's hard to judge. I mean, it's really hard to judge.
But I think the principle here is that you don't want to be running alone as White. So in the game, what happened is, after Black played here, Black doesn't have any problems. And that's the key, I think, to the fight. Because when only White has problems, then it's easy for Black to play.
Agreed.
Right, it didn't hate this move either, so we were wrong about a bunch of stuff. when I'm looking at the list of mistakes over here, I noticed that for black it's just 4, and for white there is. So that can also tell you maybe something about the game. But
Yeah, but I also wonder if black mistakes are, that big, because I mean sometimes for he was winning, so he could have just played a safer move maybe.
yeah, because now it thinks he's ahead by 16, right?
That's a lot.
Vigilant, this is not a software. This is a AI Sensei is just a website where you go, you upload an SGF file, and it does all the analyzing and stuff for you. So you don't have to install any like engines and complicated software. And I think this kind of tool would have been amazing, like at real tournaments. When you were traveling with no strong computers. So it's really nice to be able to analyze the game right after it ends in a live tournament. But unfortunately, there is not many of those around these days. It does think this 114 was a mistake. Maybe it thinks like you that it wants to. Well, it thinks what? Oh yeah, it thinks white should have played here, like you said. So those 3 stones are too big. Wow. Well, it's still playing really complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here I think it will say every move that they don't answer those 3 stones, it's probably gonna say was a mistake, right?
Yes, probably.
So here it thinks black should have connected, and next it's gonna say white should have cut. Yeah, like now, this is another mistake. So really, really key stones, and Ryan jumped on this chance first. And the last thing we wanted to check was if there was a chance to kill black in the center.
Yeah, I think somebody said in the chat that it was possible. So let's see.
It doesn't seem to think any of these black moves were a mistake. Like this 163, it thinks is fine, and then the tiger mouth is fine. Oh, this move might have been a mistake.
I think he should have Atari, but anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Let's adjust the slider down to 5 points. See why it thinks those are mistakes.
Yeah, I thought he should have played there, and
oh yeah, now it's more clearly alive, right?
Yeah, like the group on the left side is at least more clearly alive, and white doesn't have, for example, beta. I think is not center anymore.
Yeah, I feel like this would be clearly better.
Yeah. Also, point-wise is better.
This move, why didn't it like this one? Did it like the other connection more? Yeah, so it wanted to either connect like this, then black lives like we showed with this 2.
And maybe white can kill half of the group.
And he kills half?
I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, that seems to be the case, right?
Yeah, so he kills half, and that might make the game closer.
It still thinks black's ahead, so because black lived on the left, it's still fine for black.
But not sure if black would have known that he's ahead, so
he might have tried saving, right?
Yeah, he might have tried saving, and that would end up bad.
And here, white should have played the solid connection. That's nice. Look there. Oh no. Well, the AI also wants to play this 175.
So at
That's a
that
pretty
point
good
was
move.
not possible to kill anymore.
Yeah, and here you can see, like, after this it says here every move is AI move. That's what I like about this attachment from Ryan. It forced a really simple sequence, one-way street, where he was alive.
Yeah,
And
that was a really good strategy.
that basically sealed the game here. This is a mistake. Should have been here. Oh, it thinks maybe white can live on the right. So also that's why it thinks black is only 8 points ahead now, is because it thinks it can live on the right, and that's the difference between the 8 and the 40, which it was in the game. And I wanna skip ahead to this one spike I see here. What? Okay, so I guess that means black can die on the right, but let's try to solve it ourselves first. So black played here, which was a 25-point mistake. In the game, this is what Andrii did, right? And if he connects here, then black's gonna be alive like this. This is a live shape. So what do you think? How are we supposed to punish this one?
One. Wait, I have some. Can't really see it now because I think I have some lag.
Was the jump here?
Black played at 1.
Yeah, black plays at 1 here and it thinks it's a 25-point mistake. I'm trying to figure out why by myself before I check the sequences.
Okay.
So I looked at this and this doesn't work, right? So maybe this is the move?
How about Atari at 2 stones?
Sorry, 2 stones where?
D7? Is it?
D7. And then some kind of call locally.
I think so.
Not even a call.
I think it should be call, but I don't know.
Black needs this one first. Too complicated. Let's see. Oh, so yeah, white just had to extend down, and then then black would have just died. So the simplest move actually just kills here.
Wow, just extend.
Just extend.
Wow, that makes sense. Again.
I mean, I hate that it's so simple. I was hoping it's gonna be something really crazy, but it's just a simple extend. Yeah, I think Andrii is gonna be beating himself up a bit about this one. But I mean, we also missed it. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's something with A7 here. No, right? Just totally dead. after this, then there is a Mii between d7 and
Yeah, this is
a9.
dead. This is dead.
Okay, so yeah, that was Andrii's actually almost only chance in this game if we look at the graph. It was always black, except for this one move where he had a chance, and he tried to kill, but he didn't play the right sequence, and now black is alive, so the game is over.
But I'm surprised that Ryan gives such a chance that he played one, which was greedy.
Yeah, this 207. He could have played. Excuse me. He can just play here or anything right now, like this. Make life, and the win is very easy, like we said. Don't forget at this point also white already died on the bottom right, so it's not like there was still something unsettled. Anywho, that's it for the review of game 1. We're gonna take a 5-minute break, and Andrii's gonna take another stab at Ryan. I'm gonna say for me, hopefully he can stop his win streak in the next game, but we'll see. Anyway, be back in 5 minutes. See you guys.
See you guys soon.